Good morning. Welcome. Joyful Parenting Coaching here. The first of two parts today. Normally I go live at 11:30. I realize that I'm in a training, so I'm going to start my conversation about homework without nightly battles and do part one. And then after my training, which ends at noon Pacific time, I will come back and I will do part two. Okay. The first topic that I really want to cover is if my child is not doing homework, are they just being lazy? Chances are no, that a child who is intrinsically motivated, a child who is interested in and engaged in school, a child who is not feeling overwhelmed, generally they're going to do their homework. So it's always incumbent upon us as the adults in their lives, if they're not doing their homework, even if it's just looking like laziness, to discover what's the missing piece. And one of the main missing pieces may be executive functioning skills. It may be, and an important executive functioning skill is the initiative to get something started. Right? Did you know that that was a skill? Getting something started is a skill. So, one of the things that we can do to support our kids to get things started when it comes to schoolwork is to coach them, interview them, kind of find out, when do you most feel like you're going to do something, that it's the easiest for you to do it. So, and maybe it means that you try different things. You say, hey, we're going to do an experiment to find out when is it easiest for you to do your work. So for a week, we're going to try coming home, having a bio break and a snack, and then sitting right down to do your homework. Then maybe next week, we're going to try giving you 30 minutes to chill and relax and see, what does it feel like to do your homework. Another week, we're going to not start homework until around 4 o'clock and really have made sure that you've had time to go play, to go do something, to build something, draw something, investigate something. Maybe even you're going to give them their screen time first. It's worth the experiment because we all have our own individual styles, and our biggest gift that we can give our kids when it comes to homework is to helping our kids know who they are as learners. So this allows us to come out of nagging mode and put us into co-investigation mode. Like we're just guiding and shaping this investigation. That in itself, just the fact that your kids are looking at it as, oh, wow, I could feel differently about this at different times, is intrinsically motivating. So it's a little bit of a win-win here. Once we figure out what our child's main motivator is or when their best working time is, it's good to create the schedule and to stick with it. It can also be super good if it is triggered by something else. In other words, whatever comes just before the homework is always going to be the same. So maybe you're not having them start homework until 4 o'clock, but what you're going to do just before 4 o'clock is that's when you're going to have them take the dog out for a walk, 10-minute walk. Then they're going to come in and do their homework. And I might even do it as get homework set up, which is one task, but it's generally easier. There's not as usually as much pushback against getting homework set up. So getting homework set up, I'm going to take the dog out for a 10-minute walk, or I'm going to take the garbage out, or I'm going to set the table for dinner. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start my work. So do you see how we are layering habits here, right? We're using something easy, getting the work set up and laid out. layering it with something else that we have to do. And here's the trick. When our kids push back against doing homework, there's a whole host of reasons they might be pushed back and a lot of different ways that it can appear, right? So it can be the kid who's lolling with no energy, who has, who's doing it. It could be that kid. It could also be the kid who's um you know forgotten everything. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I can't find it. Well, if we do all of that, I forgot, I can't find it, before a kid has to go take a walk or set the table or do something else, there's less resistance to it because it's not the thing which is keeping them from doing their work, right? So sometimes we get bogged down with getting the work set up, finding the work, realizing what the assignment is. But in fact, all of that is just sort of procrastination or pushing away having to do the actual work. When we separate it from the work, it can be easier to do. Okay, so we take the easier task, getting the work set up. We give them a household task or a household commitment or something else that they're working on because we have legitimate reason to nag them about those things. Schoolwork is really the purview of the teacher. It's assigned by the teacher, it's checked by the teacher, it's graded by the teacher. So, one of the conflicts that come up with homework is that we, the parent, are trying to follow through and make our child do something that got assigned by a different adult, not us. So, it's not our true reasons, whereas we have probably assigned, or better yet, come to an agreement with them that their responsibility is going to be to walk the dog, to set the table, to empty the dishwasher so that I can get dinner started. That's something that we have purview over. It is reasonable for us to nag our kid about that. So now look what we've sandwiched. We've sandwiched an easy task, like getting our work set up, with something we can nag them into action on. Hey, you need to walk the dog. You agreed you were going to set the table. I can't start dinner until the dishwasher's empty so that I have a place to load my dirty stuff as I go along. All of that makes more sense. And now we're already in motion and we're going to append to that starting homework in a daily way. And so that becomes the pattern. They've already started because they got it set up. We get them their bodies into motion doing something else, and now they keep that momentum to try their homework. All right, I'm going to be back for this part 2 homework. But right now, I got to go to my training.